The next original is out now on the Shouldering Existence channel, obviously. Well, that was a long one. I don't really go into details on it on the channel itself because I want it to sort of reach a different audience. I don't put it here because it's far different to what I'm making here, basically. It's more addressing real life things, and obviously I'm not doing covers on that channel, which is a really good song. That sort of relates to it, because the entire point of Shouldering Existence is the name, really. It's about existence and the weight it puts on our shoulders and stuff. It addresses things that surround us as well. But this next song is essentially something I wanted to do for a long time, and I didn't really find a way to do it properly because there wasn't anything available. And I actually hinged my bets on something, and as much as this is all experimentation, one of the things I hinged my bets on was essentially a metal voice. I was actually going to use a growl script at first, and luckily something came out called Havoc, or HX VOC, and it turned out great, honestly. I'm not good at writing vocals, so it's a bit sort of scuffed in areas, and there's parts I can't control. For the most part, I did control everything in that, the screams, the growls, whatever. There's a pretty good voice bank, and the genre just sort of became its own thing, really. Symphonic black metal, but also sort of jazzy as well. Like the chords are unique. The bits after are a bit like Opeth sort of sounding, and I really like the breakdown. I think it's unique. It's a bit of jazz followed by metal breakdown. It's kind of crazy. And probably my favourite bit is the solo, weirdly enough. I'm not a good solo writer, but that took me a good few days to do over the course of an hour each day. I managed it somehow. It's a miracle, really. But I didn't do it in one take, and obviously I don't think many people do anyway. I do struggle with learning scales and stuff. It's always been a struggle, and as a result I'll just do it by ear. It's far easier ear and memory, essentially. And it's easier to learn a scale when you listen to it enough times to sort of know where the next note can be. You know, like, I don't know how you do it actually, like, it's almost like binary code in a sense. You skip one fret until there's one that you can't skip, so 1110, 110, 11110 essentially. That seems to be how I do it. I think that's the basic scale, or whatever it's called, melodic scale? I don't know, it's got the scales up there. Aeolian? Gallic Aeolian scale? I don't know. I'm not a music theory expert, obviously. Yeah, it's out, and I've made a music video for it, which makes it particularly special. This is a song essentially about animals and animal agriculture, and it also sort of addresses, in a sense, like how many atrocities we commit just every day through animal products alone. And I also put in like a clip from, because I use the Dominion documentary as clips for it. I also put in the clips with like the Holocaust and women's rights, because I feel like that's relevant to like how you lead by example. And essentially, the people who do it wrong obviously not leading by example very well. But women's rights, they were leading by example. And what do you know? Women's rights happened. And same with like gay rights and stuff. There's always some sort of link as well. I look back on atrocities and wonder like why the hell didn't we notice it sooner? Like, we're more accepting of it now than anyone was back then, even before that. Partly to do with science, mainly, but we progress, and that's really the point. And unfortunately, people will end up making us regress if we commit atrocities like this every day. There's plenty of things we can do to make not only everyone's lives better, but the planet's. And it's important to acknowledge that, hence being the change and doing it before it's too late. I've put some interesting lyrics in there. Probably one of the most complex lyrics as well. Like, there's plenty of different meanings, even double meanings. Pretty crazy. But I'm quite happy with it, and also the video as well, because I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it at first. I was really struggling, especially someone telling me my music was shit, and I don't know how to make it better. I don't know. I don't really have the confidence for making good music, but I'll try. Yes, it's one I feel is very important. The clips sort of complement that, and it is age restricted, by the way. And that's because of the Dominion documentary is, and I didn't want to risk anything. And it's an informative music video. It's not there to essentially, just traumatise people. It is traumatising, but I've seen it so many times that it doesn't matter to me. I've seen so many fucked up things over the years, and animal cruelty is some of the worst, but again, I've seen so much of it that at this point, it doesn't bother me to watch it. And really, I keep at the forefront of my mind that this is an atrocity either way, no matter how I feel about it. If I was in their situation, I'd hate it. Yeah, and because I'm trying to do the right thing, I don't get bothered about it. That's pretty important as well. That's essentially how I cope. Um, yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on it though. I'll put a description and the link. No, the link in the description. I've showed it to Arthur Vegan, but I don't know if it'll get a good reception or not. I'll have to wait and see. Again, that's my first time using that voice bank, and as far as composing and stuff, it's experimentative, and I actually have this idea that I might just change genres every time I make a new song, but it'll be metal, as it's called, but it'll be a different metal genre. As I included like some sort of, I guess you could call it deathcore almost. What's that they call death metal? That's sort of one of my goals with those opening calls. It's meant to sound very sort of ominous and mysterious and stuff. The same with the solo. And I see people say, like, in bands specifically, when they're essentially creating music. I remember Bullet for My Valentine made this very stupid statement in an interview, I think. I only read about it, I didn't actually see all of it. When I looked up why their new music wasn't that great, essentially the vocalist, I think, was saying, like, this is a serious album. And to me, I was just like bored out of my head listening to it. I couldn't actually take it seriously. And I think if you want to make someone take it seriously, you need to grab their interest, and that's what I tried to do. That's what I've done with the thumbnails, what I've done with the music itself. And it's important to acknowledge that, really. Yeah, like, you can't make music that's serious and works. Like, it's melodic, it's got key changes and whatever. It's not impossible, and if I can do it, a newbie like me with zero experience in like music theory, in bands or anything, and I think pretty much most people can. It's bizarre. But yeah, that's my rant about how bands' music gets boring. I've seen other bands fall down that trap too, like they go simplified and stuff, and it's not as good as older stuff. There's very few bands that actually make good music anymore, which sucks. Some have turned around though, like, I'm not sure about name examples, but yeah, there are some. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening, and also check out our video if you haven't. It's very good.